UCLACS. Miss Cheser is there. See Miss Cheser? Miss Bailey is here. When you see them applaud, you gotta be loud and proud, okay? So let's practice. Ready, set, go.
Thank you so much for coming, and if you're watching at home, thank you for tuning in. And thank you, of course, to UCLA Community School for hosting us. You can clap if you want. My name is Joy Resmovitz, and I'm with the Los Angeles Times, and I cover education. I also edit a new education website we started called Education Matters. You can find that, now hold your applause, guys. You can find that at latimes.com/schools to learn more about your district. But we're here today to launch National Go College Day. It's going to be the launch of Go College Now. What's that, you ask? It's a bilingual, interactive web platform devoted to making your college dreams a reality. The goal is to get every single kid to make their college dreams a reality too. Please visit gocollegenow.org To watch the film, you can also take the pledge, download the curriculum, and get resources to make your college journey come true. What's really special to me about today is that, when you talk about college, there are often high-level theoretical conversations about how to get more people into college. But what we have here today, we have the very real stories of people who have overcome significant obstacles to get there. We just finished watching a film about them, and we're about to engage in a discussion with the filmmakers and cast members who are kind of celebrities in this room. But before we do that, we have a very special guest. Please welcome Steve Zimmer. If you haven't seen him in the community or on TV or in schools, he is the president of the Los Angeles Unified School District School Board. He began his teaching career as a Teach for America trainee in 1992 and spent a whole 17 years teaching and counseling students here in LA.
Thank you. Thank you, and good afternoon, UCLA Community School. We are so proud to be here at RFK. We're so proud to be in this historic auditorium. I know y'all come in here a lot, but I hope it's not lost on you what a historic place this is, where you are sitting right now. And given this film and the important narrative that this film tells, and the message and the hope that it brings, I do want to say that Senator Kennedy would be very proud that this film was debuted here at the Coconut Grove today. So let me start by saying something before I know that I'm the only thing that stands between you and these amazing movie stars up here, so I will try to be quick. But let me, I do feel after seeing this film, I do have to start by saying something political, and that is that specifically in regards to the story, Cecilia's story that was told. This morning in a joint session of Congress, Pope Francis taught a lesson to all the senators and representatives. And his lesson was about immigration and our broken immigration policy. And the Pope instructed the leaders of this nation to look at every child, especially immigrant children and the children of immigrants, as if they were our own children. That's what the Pope said this morning. And I know we're in a public school, but it is absolutely time, and I know many of you and many of us know this all too well, for our country to change its broken immigration policies and treat every child as if they were our own child, and every family as if they were our own family, and make sure that no human being in this country is ever called or ever feels like they are illegal again. On behalf of Superintendent Cortinez, on behalf of Monica Garcia, your representative on the school board, and on behalf of our whole district, I want to thank first and foremost Cecilia and Dante for telling your story, letting your stories, your narrative, your hopes and your dreams that are representative of so many hopes and dreams and stories be told to an entire nation. So thank you very, very much. And to the filmmakers and to Wells Fargo and everybody who supports this, thank you for making this film. And let's make sure. I start teaching tonight. They don't let me teach in the district anymore. I would come teach here at RFK. But I do teach at Cal State. And I teach students, graduate students, many of them who come from our school district, who are about to be the next generation of counselors and PSA workers and psychiatric social workers. This film should be mandatory in every graduate school curriculum, so that everybody who is going to be working with you sees this story. And so I want to help to make that happen. Thank you for seeing this film, for making this film. And so, before the panel gets started, all I want to say, and you're going to hear this much more powerfully from the panel, is that those seats that you see, those seats at Cal State, those seats at the finest private colleges and universities in this nation, those seats are your seats. You have a right to take your rightful seat at the universities and colleges of this nation. And the fact that those statistics are what they is not an accident. It is intentional. It is about power. And it is about who has power in this country and who doesn't. And if we are to transform that, if the halls of Congress and the halls of business, if the medical schools and law schools are really representative of this nation and of Los Angeles, they need to look like this auditorium looks, like Bobby Kennedy dreamed it could be. And that depends on us, and it depends on you. There's a lot of controversy about this thing we have requiring all students to pass the A through G requirements. Let me tell you, in the affluent, rich school districts of this nation, no one's having that debate. Everybody automatically gets those courses. And nobody talks about the expectations being too high for those kids or setting up those kids for failure. But somehow we still have that debate and that conversation in Los Angeles. I believe because you taught me over 17 years that your hopes and dreams for college, for your family, for your community are just as valid and just as valuable as any hopes and dreams in any affluent neighborhood in this city or this country. But to make those dreams a reality, we need to be just as intentional about changing the power structure as the folks who built the power structure were intentional about building it. And that means you are, as the protagonist of this film showed you, you are bigger than just you. You are about a struggle for your family, for your little brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews. That public education, that college education, that changing this country is possible. So when you feel like that class is too hard, when you're sitting there late at night wondering how to balance all the things that you have to balance in your lives, know that we believe in you. Know that you are important. Know that your life and your dream and your story matters beyond just you. We have to take this moment, not only to tell the story that was told in this film, but to tell all of our stories, so that no one can make decisions about your life, about your future, not knowing who you are and what is possible for you and for our community. Thank you for hosting today. Thank you for being part of the college dream. Thank you all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for that really powerful message. Before we get started, we have one more special guest. But before that, I realized I was remiss in my duties. I need to make a very important announcement. We want you, watching here and at home, to share your personal experiences, but also to ask questions. We're sure that after seeing the film, you have tons of questions for everybody on the stage. So if you use the hashtag GoCollegeNow, We'll be sure to get to at least some of them, and you can have them answered here. But first, we wouldn't be here today without Wells Fargo. And here from Wells Fargo, we have Omid Nouri. He is the Vice President and District Manager for the Los Angeles Bank Market. He oversees 160 team members and 10 retail banking locations throughout the communities of Beverly Hills, Westwood, and Los Angeles County. He received his bachelor's degree in business economics from the University of California, Santa Barbara, and a master's in business administration from the California Lutheran University School of Management. Please give him a warm welcome here.
Wow. Thank you. And on behalf of Wells Fargo, I just want to tell you how honored I am to be here because we get to be a part of dreams, which is what I love most about this. And sorry, Fabiola, I tore up my script because I quickly realized this was about personal stories, and that's, in the banking world, believe it or not, that's one of the most important things. Dante said something very short and sweet in that film. He said, I have to do what I have to do to be able to do what I want to do. And for me, the Cecilias of the world, the Dantes, and in particular Soma, really resonated because my father moved here in the mid-'60s, not speaking a lick of English, with his 9 brothers and sisters. And he was, one of the middle kids, one of the more studious ones, and he pursued his dream at Cal State LA, working 5 jobs to be able to provide for me, and that's how I was able to go to UC Santa Barbara. It wasn't anything that I did, it was what he did. And for me, that responsibility weighs on me heavily every single day, much like many of you. How many of you have folks that moved here without speaking a word of English? Look around you, look behind you. So my message to you is do what you have to do to be able to do what you want to, because if you associate yourself with the Cecilias of the world, it's a lot easier on yourself. And for me, being able to provide the resources, and you get to ask questions in a minute, that's most important. And so I'll finish with this. So my father, again, like I said, he had 9 brothers and sisters. I was, fortunate enough to be able to pay for my master's with the help of Wells Fargo. And that's because of my father's education and knowing when he worked for a big company like GE that those things were available when you entered the corporate world. And it was important that I took advantage of it. And so I'm constantly educating my family members. I'm one of the oldest of 40 first cousins. And I'm proud to say that there's 19 of us that are of age, over 18. Every single one is either enrolled now or graduated from college. And so, again, my message, thank you, Dante. Do what you have to do to be able to do what you want to do. Thank you.
For patiently. Again, just one more reminder, if you're tuning in from home, if you tweet out your questions using the hashtag #GoCollegeNow, we'll be sure to get to them. And before I introduce the panel, how this is going to go, I'm going to be asking a few questions. Then we're going to be inviting you guys, the students here, up to ask your own questions. And then we'll be looking to what you're asking from home using the hashtag #GoCollegeNow. Anyway, without further ado, straight to my left, we have the filmmaking husband and wife duo, Adam and Jay Fenderson. They're the force behind the film you just watched. Jay spent a few years as an admissions counselor at Columbia University. Adam has been in the film business for over 10 years. And we have Casey Galindo from Wells Fargo. She's an account executive who uses her post to help students figure out how to pay for college. Then next to her, we have Cecilia and Dante, who need no introduction. Yeah, you can give it up for them. Yeah. You know their stories. You know who they are. You know them from the film. So I wanted to start by asking Adam and Jay, I was really interested to see a film that told really important stories in such depth about how somebody who faces real obstacles can get into college. So could you talk a bit about how this project started and, more importantly, how you found the people that you captured on film so eloquently?
Well, thank you. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so
You
cute.
started
This is what happens when you're married.
Oh my God.
Kind of talk over each other.
Cut it out.
So I, as Joy mentioned, I used to work at Columbia. I was an admissions officer, and I read applications all the time from students, and it really struck me the inequality that existed in our higher ed institutions. The percentage of low-income and first-gen students just aren't represented on the college campus, only about 3% of students. And so after I left admissions, I moved out here to Los Angeles, and I met my husband, Adam, who had just finished at USC, and we talked. Yeah. I know we're in UCLA.
Wow, very collegial.
I know.
Rivalry. And we wanted to give a voice to all the statistics and numbers that we see, and to bring to light the struggles and also the successes of students who were trying to be first in their families to go to college. So we actually pitched the idea to a bunch of production companies, and everybody turned us down. So we were working full-time jobs and decided to make it on our own on the weekends. And I'll let Adam finish telling the story of how we found the students.
Yeah, so we thank you guys very much for being here, and for everybody watching online. We really appreciate it. We're very excited to be launching GoCollegeNow.org and here today at Go College Day. So to keep going, we had no money, so we had to stay in California, and because we were working down here in LA. And we traveled up to schools. We were looking specifically for schools who the majority of the students were on free and reduced lunch plans, because we really wanted to tell the story of a low-income community and not just individual students. And so we traveled to probably 10 different schools in Central and Southern California and met with probably 100 students. We just asked counselors and principals to target students who were doing very well. We wanted students between a 2.5 and a 3.9 because we wanted students that were pushing for college and that were really trying hard, and we wanted juniors. And so we met with probably 100 students, and we picked the 4 that you saw on the film today. And our ultimate goal with the film was to get it out to students like yourself, to hopefully be able to get you guys to see it and relate to the students that you see in the film, and realize that college is absolutely possible. If you just need to find the resources. That's why we have the website now. You need to be able to ask the hard questions, find people that can help you, and college is absolutely a possibility for every student.
Casey, I wanted to ask you to tell us a bit more about exactly what Go College Now is and how it can help the people in this room and other people in high school throughout the country figure out how to pay for college and how to get in.
Great, sure, and good afternoon, everybody here in the audience as well as that are watching from home and via online streaming. The Go College Now, we worked with First Generation because we feel that everybody deserves the opportunity to access a higher education, and we know that an education can change not only your life, but that of a community. So the partnership is really an opportunity for us to provide all of you with the resources that you need to help navigate that financial aid process, to have those conversations in your communities, in your families, to talk about college, to make those dreams a reality, not let cost be a factor and a prohibitive factor from you reaching your goals. So we want to be able to provide through this bilingual online platform the opportunity to not only stream the film, but get the resources that you need to navigate college, and to also join in the conversation, to get family, to get other students like yourself involved by taking the pledge.
Great, thank you. Okay, and I know that you guys have all been waiting to know this question, the answer to this question I'm about to ask. Cecilia, what are you doing right now, and what's in the future for you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for watching the film and being here. I'm very, very happy to be here, and it was a nice drive yesterday getting here from San Diego, so I'm glad that you guys got the opportunity to watch the film today. Currently, I just graduated with my master's degree in Homeland Security, and I am working at a law firm in La Jolla, San Diego, and studying for the LSAT to take hopefully in October. So that's been the LSAT's standardized testing never stops, guys. Okay? So right now I'm just studying for the LSAT and preparing myself to take that test and hopefully get a good score and apply to law school at UCLA Law. So
The dream is still alive. I know that everybody here is so glad to hear that you're thriving, Cecilia. And Dante, I wanted to ask you the same question. What are you doing these days? Tell us.
All right. So hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. So I just want to thank everybody for being here and for watching our story. But as of right now, I work with, I'm a after-school team lead at an elementary school. I work at 6th graders, and my biggest thing I'm trying to do is promote college to the kids. So that's my biggest thing. I'm trying to, just basically spread the word about college. You let the youth know, while they're in 6th grade, before they even get to middle school or high school, how college can change their life so they can, so they can go. I wish there was somebody not like me, but somebody that basically told me, about college before high school and things like that, so I could have been more prepared of it. So I'm just trying to get, the kids prepared so they can go to college someday. So that's what I'm doing.
Cecilia, I know that we watched you go through a lot of ideas about what your life would and could look like. Looking back on that period of your life, is there anything that you might have done differently?
Thank you. Yes, definitely would have applied to that UCLA program and gotten my bachelor's degree from there, hopefully. But the message here for me that I'd like to spread to you students is that everyone here has a story, and whether it be at the time of your story that you're struggling, you should still share it. You should still apply to that law school, that school that you really want to go to, and write that essay and write that personal statement, because I definitely wish I could have gone back and did it, and I will now. But for me to tell you that, I think it's very powerful, and you guys should take advantage of your stories.
Before I open this up, I have one more question for Dante. I was really struck when I saw you say in the film pretty early on that you decided to turn your life around, and you said that as if it were easy and we could just all snap a finger and turn our lives around. I think you didn't give yourself enough credit. So could you tell people here what exactly you meant by that and how you did it?
All right. So basically, growing up, I was in the wrong crowd. That's probably the biggest thing that happens to a lot of people. You get in the wrong crowd that are doing the wrong things, that are not focused on the better things in life. So me running with that crowd almost cost me, my life, and almost cost me my education. So I just, had to say that, the way I was going, I didn't want to continue going that way. I was doing a lot of bad things, like gang banging and things like that, just stuff that I knew that wouldn't get me anywhere far. So I just knew that, I had to do something else, if I wanted to live my life. So basically I just had to find people that are about good things, find people that had light goals, find people that wanted to do stuff for the better. And once I did that, my life started going down the right path. So the people that you surround yourself with, you become. So if you become people that's about education, then they'll push you towards education. So watch who your friends are. They can make you or break you.
Wow, that was really, really powerful advice. Thank you, Dante. We can all learn from that. Now, I wanted to open it up to students. There are some microphones over here. I think we have time for about 2 questions from you. So if you wanted to line up. Guys, don't be shy. We know you're not shy. There you go. And be sure to tell us who you are, what grade you're in, and make sure it's a question and not a statement.
Okay. Hi, my name is Faith Walter, and I'm in 8th grade. And I have a question for Ms. Cecilia. What advice would you offer us students and or the counselors based on your experience?
For the students, for sure, ask questions. There is no such thing as a stupid question. When I was sitting in your seats, I felt shy, quiet, scared to ask questions. But really, counselors and teachers here are here to help you. So any questions you ask, I'm sure and if they don't know it, I'm sure they'll investigate and get you the answers you need. So for sure, ask the questions and take advantage of your available resources.
Thank you.
So Cecilia told you that you need to ask questions and not be shy. I think you should take her cue and ask another question, guys. There we go.
Hi, my name's Wendy Lopez. I'm a 10th grader. My question's for Casey Galindo. How do you apply for financial aid?
That's a great question. And I would recommend, even as a 10th grader, to start looking for scholarship opportunities right now. Each of you is going to get a packet when you leave today that is going to have some great information about scholarship opportunities, one being the tuition funding sources database, tuitionfundingsources.com. That's a scholarship database that allows you now to start building your profile and getting scholarship information for opportunities that you can apply for early. For those of you who are not in attendance here and won't be getting a packet and are viewing us via live stream, the resources are all available also on gocollegenow.org. But definitely encourage you to apply for as many scholarships as possible to help start getting resources that'll be available to pay for school. Because I know oftentimes, let me see a show of hands, how many of you are afraid about the cost of college? And that's something that is very common with students. I know myself as a first generation, college costs were something that were very scary. So we want to make sure that you have all the tools that you need to help navigate that process. And we have a lot of those tools on the gocollegenow.org site, including the financial aid forms that you need to complete in order to apply for financial aid, scholarship opportunities, not only through tuition funding sources, but college steps, as well as these national scholarship organizations that offer scholarships. So the Hispanic Scholarship Fund, the United Negro College Fund, Asian Pacific Islander American Scholarship Fund. So a lot of resources on the website that you can start looking at early right now, even as a 10th grader, to start preparing and helping you really get to a good position where you feel comfortable in picking the college that you want to go to because you know you have the financial aid to pay for it.
Thank you so much, Casey. And I think we do have time for another student question.
All right. My name is Shikati White, and I'm a 10th grader, and my question goes to Dante. And as you moved from high school to college, what was the most challenging thing you faced during your first year of college, and have your challenges remained the same?
Okay, so as of right now, I graduated like 4 months ago. Actually, it's the 24th, exactly 4 months ago today from college. But I would say the biggest thing is finding myself, finding how was I going to study, how was I going to, get help, just really just finding myself in college. There you're all by yourself. So I really just had to see, I had to take care of myself, I had to do my own schedule, I had to make sure I get up. I just really had to, talk to myself and say, like, do you want to be here or not? My biggest thing was getting to college, but after that, it was staying and completing it. So I just had to see what could I do just to stay there. The biggest things I did was find a counselor and probably a small group where there's a lot of people that are doing the same exact thing as you, pushing for the same exact pushing for the same exact goals and things like that. So I just basically had to see what, how was I going to transition myself to stay in, and that was basically just, like I said, my study habits, how I was going to just basically just be on top of myself. You basically have to really manage yourself because nobody's there to support you. So I just have to say, if I want to stay here, I got to do whatever it takes to get there. So that's what I did.
Great. Thank you. We're going to now open up the floor to questions from our at-home audience. We might have time for another student later. I see you rearing to go. But just for everybody watching at home, another reminder to use the hashtag #GoCollegeNow. So first, we have a question from the username who's called Picture Motion. I'm sorry, I do not know their personal name. After getting into college, what are some struggles first-generation students can face? And this is addressed to the whole panel.
Doc. I think obviously these students have kind of shared some of the struggles that they that faced, and you saw also in the film. But I know that we've actually spent quite a long time speaking with students across the nation about the different struggles that they're facing, and something that I'm sure that these two students could relate to is when low-income first-generation students get on campus, there's often a sense that they are alone and that they don't have a community of people that are like them. When you go onto a campus, like I went to USC, as I mentioned before, and you feel as though you're around a bunch of rich kids. And that is and that's something that students across the country are noticing on not just private school campuses, but also on a lot of public school campuses. So I think one of the important things for students to do is to find a community as soon as they get to campus, where they can relate to the students that they're working with, and they can. A lot of schools have dorms set up or organizations set up. So if you find a counselor, you can talk to that counselor and say, are there any groups on campus that are for first-generation students? I know that students don't necessarily want to go in and say, "Hi, I'm a first-generation poor kid, and I just don't know anybody." But actually, if you go in and tell your story to a counselor, they may be able to set you on the right path so that you can get through college. And really, getting through that first year can be the toughest thing, but you can get through college to working with students that are like you and realize that you are not alone when you reach that campus.
And we have one more question from Twitter. This is from Kate Johnson, and she has a question for our local celebs, Cecilia and Dante. What is your advice for first-generation students who don't know where to start?
Well, I would say just take school serious. The more that you mess up, I would say, like, a lot of people think that 9th grade doesn't count. It definitely counts. The better you do all through your high school career, the better school you can get into, and the more schools you can even apply for and things like that. It goes off the classes you take and your SAT scores and things like that. So the better your GPA, the better SAT scores, you can go to probably any school that you want to go to. So I would say my biggest advice is take high school serious from once you get in to once you graduate, and follow your A through G requirements, and you'll be straight. You'll be all right.
I would for sure say get involved. Once you step foot on that campus, on your college campus, find your interests, find clubs, join clubs, be involved in athletics, be involved in the band, anything. Build ties with other people that have things that are common with you, okay? And build friends, family, even communities within your campus, and that will help you get through your college. For sure, take school serious. College is very, very tough, and you have to prioritize your time, especially if you're going into sports or going into band, music, any of your interests. It's a huge community, and you can literally find anything you want to do, and people that want to do it with you as well and help you. So just get involved once you get on that campus.
Thanks. And we have one more question from Twitter from Darcy Husel. I think this is more of a question for Casey. What can parents do to educate themselves on the college process and to facilitate conversations about college with their kids?
That's a great question, and I think parents can get involved by, especially parents right now, if you have seniors or juniors, seniors, they can go and meet with counselors. They can go to financial aid nights that are hosted at the high schools to learn more about the college application process and what students need to do. They can also learn more about financial aid and what they need to do to understand how to navigate those college costs. And then just having those conversations and doing things together with the students. So this is an opportunity for both the parents and students to get involved in finding the scholarship opportunities that are out there, navigating and figuring out what's the right fit, having those conversations early, not just about, is this school right for you, but financially, let's talk about this as a family, and just going to those financial aid nights, learning more about the application process for admissions, learning more about the application process for financial aid can really help in those conversations and really the overall college process.
Thank you. And I think we have time for, I see you, Mr. Plaid had one question. Do you still have a question? Can you ask it?
I was just going to add while he's walking up to the mic. One of the things you guys can do here today, if you saw the film and you think it will resonate with your families, it's available online at gocollegenow.org, and you can watch it with them, share it with them. Oftentimes we do screenings with parents, and I think all parents want their children to succeed. They want what's best for them, but oftentimes they don't realize the ways in which they may be subtly holding them back. And so as you saw in the film, there are parents who had great intentions, but sometimes it's just, when you say, I don't know what I'm going to do when you go away to college, that nags in the back of your head. And so if parents can be aware of what they're doing that may be contributing to their child going to or not going to college, that can be really helpful. So definitely share the film and talk to them about it.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah Borbe. I actually want to ask to everybody else, and which could also value to everybody else here, why college matters to anybody and why they should spend their time going to college.
I'll say for me, me coming from LA and, coming from a low income background and things, college was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'll tell you, the best 6 years literally of my life. Like I did and seen so many things that I guarantee you I wouldn't have anywhere else. Like it really changed my life for the better. So if you get the chance, right now you guys all have the chance to just keep going down the right path, get there. It helped me so much educationally, but it was also the funnest time I had in my life. Like literally, it was so much fun. So if you get that chance, do any and everything that you can to get there, and I guarantee you that you won't regret it. So get there, just get there.
Education overall is important to me because my parents came here to this country, leaving all they knew behind for a better future for me. So I take education very, very important, and just bettering myself in every way, and not just, college isn't for everyone, but I think that bettering yourself and gaining knowledge and education is powerful. So that's why education is important to me.
And I'm gonna add, there's a stat out there that says in 10 years, in 2025, we are gonna be 24 million degrees short of college degrees short of what the economy needs. Basically what that means is that the jobs that are going to be offered to people in 2025, we are not going to have enough college graduates to fill those jobs. And because for the students out there, you may not know, what's happening right now is that a college degree is becoming more and more important every year to get jobs. So even lower level jobs that used to go to people with just high school degrees are now requiring a college degree. And the unemployment rate for people with higher ed degrees is lower than anybody else, dramatically lower. And so everyone knows the story of somebody who has a degree but can't find a job, but the stories of people without degrees that can't find a job are just much, much larger. And there's so many more of those. So getting a college degree gives you the best opportunity to find a job when you graduate. And if we do not meet that goal, if we do not raise our college going and college success rate in America, jobs will be sent overseas and to other places, and to maintain, this is just the economic side of it, but to maintain our economy, we need to be graduating more students. And the truth is, I think the LAUSD board president said it best. When we need to graduate students, we need the schools across America to look like the students in this auditorium right now. We need all students from all backgrounds, all nationalities, all financial backgrounds to be going and graduating from college.
Great. So, before we wrap up, I have a question for all of you. I know that your hands might be tired from the previous hand-raising exercise, but bear with me. How many of you are planning on going to college? I know, you need 2 hands to clap. I get it. Yeah. Great. So, unfortunately, we're out of time for questions, but we can keep the conversation going if you use the hashtag #GoCollegeNow. I'll be following it on Twitter, and I really am interested in hearing all of your experiences and what you took away from this event today. So before we go, I wanted to thank the UCLA Community School for hosting us in this glorious, glorious Coconut Grove Theater. Thank you to the students in the audience. We couldn't have asked for a more spirited crew. Thank you to everybody watching at home for contributing to our discussion. And just putting in one final reminder, if you visit gocollegenow.org, you can learn a bit more about what this whole thing is about. And you can take the pledge, you can share resources, you can look at a curriculum, and you can figure out what it takes to make college work for you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Great. Thank you very much. I think we're good. We'll just go. No?
So every single person here is bilingual? So every person here is bilingual?
We're good. We gotta be good.
Folks, can I have your attention? Let's sit for a second. Let's thank our panelists. Let's give them a big round of applause. Okay, on your way out the Coconut Grove, you'll be receiving